Hello everybody, welcome back to Gas Mask Review with IDB Trinity. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. Now you may think, wow, that's a PMG. No it isn't. This is different. Of course it is still necessarily the mask design from the Combine from Half-Life 2. I am a big fan. No, this is in fact a different mask to the PMG. Here is a copy of Half-Life 2 from the original Xbox that I own. You may notice here the Combine, of course, wearing a exceedingly similar design. So, it's pretty cool. Of course, the 70M is essentially the exact same design as the PMG, bar a few different, so I was going to say a few different details, but a few differences. So I'll run you through those now. This one's kind of dirty. What can you do? Now, with a lot of these, if they go up to a size 5, it is a 70M, not a PMG. And a good way to be able to tell if this is a PMG or not is this, the voice diaphragm cover. This has lots of holes and is therefore a 70M. Also, this part that covers the exhale ports, there are only 2 flaps. There's nothing covering this, like with the PMK series. So, lots of holes, 70M. It's a little bit difficult to tell with a lot of surplus sellers. At the moment, England, we've got a surplus seller on eBay. I'm not sure if they ship to the US, but I will drop a link down in the comments if I remember. Drop me a comment if I haven't done it, because I'll see it. At the moment, we've got plenty of these. This cost me £15, I think, which is overall a damn good price. It did come jammed into a tiny box, which I felt was kind of mean, because when I opened my door and the postman had stepped about 16 kilometres away from my front door, because like, oh no, no coronavirus. I open it up and on the floor is a box about this big. Inside of it is the GP5. On top of it is a box about this big. Very similar to the one my filter came with. And inside of it was that. I didn't expect that, because I also thought, well hey, I didn't order a filter. What I did order though was a new Rose of Jericho. So I lost my old one when we moved. Strap system at the back, which is certainly interesting. You may notice that it has holes at the top of the head. How strange. They're for ventilation. A lot of people think they're for carrying. No, carrying would be a good thought, but apparently it's to help with any heat. So pretty nice at least. Goss thread, of course. What's interesting is that the thread is coated in rubber. At least at the start it is. It's been sort of moulded onto the plastic thread inside of it, so it can make a bit of a squeaky noise. It doesn't always sit right with some filters, but still a good mask. It's very soft, and I will say this is probably the most comfortable mask I own. Like, it's actually so ridiculously nice to wear. Your only problem is that your hair will stick out of the top of this if you have long or medium hair. I have medium hair, so it's a bit strange. Wear like a balaclava with it. That's very thin ski mask. Helmet style, of course, so it will work with a riot helmet, which is nice. The differences between this, the 70M, and the PMG, excuse me, is the fact that the PMG apparently has double lenses. So that's interesting. But this one, of course, only has single. Still glass, can still shatter. The voice diaphragm, when you speak, it reverbs like a bitch, because it is just this. It is a sheet of plastic. Not to say that it's terribly bad, it's just that good luck understanding anything anyone says in this. I'm not sure what the PMG was originally used for. I believe it was the sniper's mask, however I could be wrong on that one. I'm thinking of the SCH M41, which I believe I mistakenly called the GP5 in the last video. It has ear slots, of course, like a lot of the Soviet masks, with a little ring here where it gets thinner, around where the hole of your ear is going to be, your lug hole. Of course, this one's size 5, made 1991, so just at the end of the collapse of the Soviet Union. But like I said, this one is the Hungarian version, and was for the Workers' Army. If I just invert this lovely Workers' Army gas mask, you may think, wow, Jack, your 70M is filthy. Well, no. That is glue. That is the glue the mask comes with, and I have spoken with other owners of the 70M, and they all have the same problem. It looks disgusting, it does not come off. Do not scrub too hard because it will sort of trap the inside. It has a mustache deflector Tissot tube system. That's apparently what it's called, which is interesting. And I will say it does collectively fuck all. Yours often will come with stamps, but you can just look on the wiki. It will fog up like a prick. Not much is going to be done about that. Maybe wear one of those 3M style face covers inside of it. It's a good rule for a lot of these old Soviet masks, because a lot of them use Tissot tubes instead of oral nasal cups. However, of course, the PBF does contain an oral nasal cup, but then uses cheek filters. If it had used normal filters, it would probably be the best Soviet gas mask they ever made. Like I said, incredibly soft rubber. Like, it's so nice to hold. It's nice and cold. Squeaky. Boom. Filter's on. And guess what it's going to start doing? It's going to sag. Because the filter is going to really outweigh it. Not that it matters. It's still a great mask. I 100% recommend picking one up. They will come with a bag if you go looking for one, like a PMG. But the 70M has a very similar bag, however, good luck getting one. Because the bag apparently was a lot more popular due to having been made famous by some famous person whose name I forget. It is an interesting mask. It's comfortable. Workers' army. So that's interesting. Simple lenses. People do say that the rubber is poorer quality. You will say that in the wiki. Not true. Like, probably it is more liable to tear. I can believe that. But as long as you don't do that and you get the right size, it's not a problem, because this is a tight-fitting mask. Mine is, of course, a size 5. It is the largest available. Something to look out with for Hungary is that a size 5 will be an extra large with military, but if it's one of their civilian masks, it'll usually be a size 4, it won't go up to 5, then that will be the smallest. Who knows why they did that? Who can possibly figure out why? Neck strap, so then once you've got it on, this comes around your neck, you'll have tightened it, and that will just sit there on the back of your neck. It doesn't really do much. You can pull the mask straight off with it connected. I'm going to put it on now for you. And it's on. It's very easy to get on and off. However, you might remember that I mentioned the voice diaphragm. So, read that. The green text. A ride of a lifetime and a prime contender for Xbox Game of the Year. Let's get the filter on. Okay, here we go. The ride of a lifetime and prime contender for Xbox Game of the Year. Game Pro Magazine, United States. Defining a new benchmark in gaming with startling realism and responsiveness, Half-Life 2 opens the door to a world where the player's presence affects everything around him. Half-Life 2 digital actors, advanced animation technology delivers the most sophisticated in-game characters ever witnessed. That's enough of that. As I just said, I just managed to pull that off with the neck strap. Now, to me, I could understand myself, and maybe you'll be able to understand me too. But it vibrates very badly. Now, of course, the filters it comes with are a lovely shade of green, very pretty. Now just don't breathe through it, just look at it in awe. Helmet style, so like I said, it will fit a riot helmet. Piece of piss, simple, effective. Your hair will stick out the top, so you will look fucking ridiculous if you don't have something to cover the top or wear something underneath. Or if you have a shaved head, that'll be good. Overall, I don't know why people haven't talked about the 70M. Probably because there is literally no difference between it and the PMG, other than voice diaphragm plastic here instead of whatever they used before. Softer rubber. Overall comfy, it's good. I recommend picking one up. Like I said, Britain at the moment has a big surplus seller. I did check American eBay and good fucking luck getting one for cheap. All in all, I love this mask. I cannot express to you how much I love it. I mean, I started my collection with the S10, and I love the S10 to bits. It is my favourite mask, but this is my favourite Soviet mask. So that's how good it is. It looks lovely. Double exhale flaps, or valves rather, but surprisingly they work. All in all, delightful. Pick yourself one up. They're 100% worth it. If you don't know what size to get, go for a size 3. That'll odds are do you. If you're very small, go for a 2. If you're a large person like me, try and find a 5. If it doesn't go up to a 5, and of course count how many holes. If it doesn't have as many holes, then it's a PMG. And if it's cheap, get it, because I don't know what the PMG's like. All in all, a beautiful mask. It is delightful. It looks very nice. It is functional. It does produce an airtight seal if it's not damaged. Gost thread, of course, but you can stick a normalised hose on the end there and connect it up. Cheap, effective, lovely. A good Soviet mask. Really worth the money, 100%. Workers' Army, Hungary, 1991. Between 1970s and the early 1990s. And I believe they kept using it for a good while past the 90s. As for production, I haven't the foggiest. Good, simple, effective, lightweight, can fit into small places, not suitable for airsoft. A beautiful gas mask.